Especially not when he's on John Denver.
Okay, hello everybody. This is my first video on YouTube. This is my new YouTube channel. Basically, most people, they start a YouTube channel to make money. This is a non-profit YouTube channel. The reason, the main reason I started this, I am in my mid-30s. I was born, obviously it makes me born around 1980. I'm not going to give my birth date away, obviously, disguising my identity. By the way, this is not inspired from, I know some terrorists look like this. This is not inspired by that. This is actually more traditional Japanese ninja in the way the garment is. And then the glasses are more model. Um, uh, so it's a mixture of, it's like a fusion of those two. So essentially, like I said, I'm in my mid 30s. You know, I've grown up. I've always been a big fan of John Denver. Always. I can remember one of my earliest memories I can remember standing in my crib. Maybe I was like 6 years old, and I'm sitting there. I'm holding the bars of my crib, and there was a song by John Denver playing. It was a record, vinyl, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was the song about mountains, and there was water, and that the mountains are old, and I think it's Sleepy Hollow or something. But in the song he talks about mountains, and there's a woman in it. And I remember in my crib swaying back and forth, and I'm thinking, even though I'm 6 years old, I'm thinking this is really good. Music is really something I can get behind. It's positive. This guy's positive. The music sounds good. I like it, and I like dancing. And subsequently, dancing was something that I got into in my 20s and had a very, very, very severe. Uh, I had I wore for a time ankle bracelets, and unbeknownst to me, one of my ankle bracelets was borrowed by a stranger. One of my roommates let a stranger basically came by the apartment and said, do you have any ankle bracelets here? It's a fucking emergency. And he's like, okay, well, I don't know this guy, but my roommate's real into ankle bracelets right now. I'll give him one of those. The guy comes back later. It's like 3 hours later. It's like sweaty, and he gives it back. He says, thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me. My roommate didn't clean it. He didn't tell me that he had given it out. I put it on, and literally, I got athlete's foot all over my leg that spread into my genitals and up into my chest. And so from that point on, I refused to dance, and I was like, I'm fucking giving up. The ankle bracelets at the time sort of symbolized dancing, so I burned it. I burned all of them. I had 900. I burned them all, and I prepared a statement. Two of my friends were present, and there was a picture of John Denver and Michael Jackson. I think it was Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney from their hit. They had a hit where they're both having sex with the same woman, and I think it was a ploy. Like Paul McCartney was like, "I'll be the good bad cop, you be the good cop." Michael Jackson was like, "What? I want to be the bad guy," and Paul McCartney's like, "You're fucking Michael Jackson. No one's gonna believe you're bad cop. We come in there. This woman's gonna get scared. You're gentle. I'm the rough one here. I was in the Beatles." So anyway, burned it, gave up dancing, and I have lived under, being one of John Denver's all-time biggest fans. I've lived under and labored under a lie that real John Denver fans know. Okay? Real John Denver fans know the circumstances surrounding his death. We know the truth. We keep it private. We keep it amongst the coterie of Denver followers. But I'm in my mid 30s, and it's just gotten to a point where it's built and built and built. And the straw that broke the camel's back was the other day. A complete stranger said to me, I was outside of a clinic. A complete stranger says to me, "By the way, do you know how John Denver died?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe this guy really knows it, and I can connect with him." He says he crashed his plane in mysterious circumstances. And I said, "You know what? It's time for us to come out." So to my friends, to other followers of John Denver, to people that already know this, I am very sorry that I'm breaking the silence. But you have to realize this has to be done. I cannot take it anymore. Now, the circumstances surrounding John Denver's death. John Denver traveled to LA right before his tragic plane accident. He had some friends in LA at the time. There was a cappuccino place. Cappuccinos were the new thing. And coincidentally, ankle bracelets were as well. And they were like, "Come out here. You're going to love the scene. We've got really good ankle bracelets. We've got really good cappuccino." There's even a special coffee that jungle cats shit out of their ass, and you can drink it. And John Denver's like, "Whoa, you said the magic. Back up. What was that? Jungle cats? Ass coffee? I'm out there right now. Ankle bracelets bonus." So he jumps on his plane. He flies his plane. It's a special old timey plane. Now he goes to the coffee shop. There's a line for the bathroom. He has to pee. He has to pee something ferocious. He's had like 10 cups of coffee. He can't believe how good the coffee is. It's way better than New York coffee or wherever he was living. I know it's Colorado. It's way better than the shit they get in Colorado. He had to pee really bad. There was a line in the restroom. This was a hot place at the time. It was like gold. John Denver says, "You know what? I'm John Denver. If the police catch me, I can pay the fine. I'm going to go pee out behind the cappuccino place." He goes and pees out there. There's a dice game going on. These aren't normal dice playing homeless. These are vice lords. It's a new thing at the time. A lot of young kids, muscle, energy. John Denver is peeing. He says, "What are you guys? You guys in a dice game? Can I join in?" And they're like, "It depends. Will you join the vice lords? You're John Denver. We could use a PR, etc." And John Denver, he's not hip to the whole gang lifestyle. Gangs are new. He says, "Well, yeah, what is it? This is a social club? What do? You read books and join up and talk about books and stuff?" And they're like, "Yeah, fuck it. We'll go with that. We read books." So John Denver signs his life away, basically. They don't fill him in on the details, so they don't want to shock him up front. They get his number at the hotel. He's staying at Holiday Inn or Ramada Inn, L.A. They contact him later that night. He's due back in New York or Colorado the following day. They call him. They're like, "John Denver, we didn't, when you agreed to this, we weren't upfront about it. But essentially, tough news. You've already joined the Vice Lords. There's 2 ways you can join." And forgive me, I get a little bit emotional at this point in the story. They tell him there's 2 ways you can join a gang. There's 2 ways you can join the Vice Lords. One way, get beat in. What do you mean? How do you get beat in? All of the gang members surround you. One of the gang women stand to the side with a stopwatch. They count down a minute. They beat your ass. If you can last a minute, you're in the gang. No questions. Number 2, he's like, "What is number 2? Is number 2 worse?" They're like, "Yeah, it's way worse. And we don't even want to do it. We'd prefer you to pick number 1. It's a lot easier." He's like, "Go ahead and tell me what's number 2. Because I roll. I'm into ankle bracelets. I did some new stuff. I drank cat coffee that came out of an asshole of a pig in the jungle. So they tell him, all right, well, number 2, you can be sexton. He's like, sexton? What is that? They're like, are you sitting on your bed? And he's like, yeah. Okay, well, you might want to lie down. We'll knock you on your ass. We rape you for 5 minutes. 2 ways. So we're going to expect by tomorrow morning you've made your decision. And he's like, fuck, well, I've already joined it. I'll sleep on it. He's like, okay, we'll expect you to call about 9. He's supposed to leave like 10. He hasn't made the decision. He's in the plane. And he has a new cell phone. These were popular. These are just coming out. He has one. He calls him from the plane. And the guys are like, do you want to get beaten or sexton? There's bad reception. He says, tell me what sexton is again. And they're like, okay, you want to get sexton? We didn't personally see that coming. We don't really want to do it. We're going to have to, fuck, can you give us a week? How does Wednesday sound? He's like, no. I want to know what it is. I don't want to do it. I might want to get the other one. And they were like, what, did you say 1 o'clock? And so they pencil him in 1. They're doing their calendar. It's like, fuck. And the transmission's really bad. And, he says, no. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And so they mishear that and they say, okay, we're going to sex you in the device Swords next Wednesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Be there 30 minutes prior. Condoms, ankle bracelet, be ready to go. We don't like doing it. We prefer it to be really quick. We might even give you a 30-minute one. I mean, a 30-second one. So he's like, fuck, I don't want to fucking do this. The guy hangs up the phone. He looks up. Tornado. He's in Nevada. He's over Nevada. Tornado. Common. Drives. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. He floors it. He presses the gas pedal down and upshifts, okay, flies into the tornado, sent spiraling down. And he's like, I'm panicking again. He presses on the brakes. It's a new braking system, disc brakes. I know they're common now. They weren't at the time. He didn't know how powerful they were. He wasn't used to them. Completely, they stop the plane. Tornado. He descends and plummets into the side of Nevada Mountain. They subsequently made up a miniature golf park to commemorate this. Here's an interesting point. This is the final point. One thing I will say about the Vice Lords is they're true to their fucking word. And a lot of gangs aren't. But the Vice Lords are true to their fucking word. They calculated where he would be. The guy had the wherewithal to ask him, John, when did you take off? He's like, I took off at 10. How fast are you traveling? I'm traveling this fast. That motherfucker got a map out, knew nothing about physics, calculated where he would be, where he would have crashed. They kept their fucking word. They went out there Wednesday, 1 week from that point, 1 o'clock sharp. I forgot to mention this. John Denver crashed into people that freakishly, coincidentally happened to be standing in Nevada at that point. They were taking a hike up Nevada Mountain. He is combined with him. True to their word, they separated him out. And they made a sort of an asshole out of the fragments they could find. Someone brought a microscope. They knew it was John Denver. They could say, one of them remarked at the time, this guy practically smells like what I remember from the dumpster at the dice game. Do you remember that? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, this guy was wearing fucking Stetson. Because I remember that at the time. Got my dad that for Christmas. It's a really shitty cologne. I was like, what's this guy doing? He should be wearing something cool, like polo. He wasn't. He was wearing Stetson. Pieced it together, made an asshole, fucked it. He was sexed into the Vice Lords Wednesday at some point in the past at 1 o'clock or 1:05. True to their fucking word. If the Vice Lord tells you they're going to do something, they fucking do it. even if it means assembling pieces of a corpse into something fuckable. They fucking do it. Now that it's out, I don't want another motherfucker coming to my apartment talking to me about these topics. Ankle bracelets, I know fucking more than you. I had 900. I burned them. Eulogy Paul McCartney. John Denver's death, fucking Biswords did it. Fuck you. It was not mysterious. Number 3, the real estate manager here keeps coming around for rent. I haven't paid it in 3 months. I'm not gonna fucking pay it. Do not come around here talking about John Denver, ankle bracelets, or money I owe you for this fucking apartment. I shit here. I'm gonna die here. Thank you.